Welcome back to our channel. After the big win for the Magnus, the game of the Norway Chess round 5, again the Magnus lost with Wesley So. Let us see the game and follow the move by move. Okay, here Magnus is playing white and Wesley is playing black. The game starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop f5, knight f6, d3, bishop c5, bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, d6, c3, a5. The main idea of a5 is to play the bishop on a7 and controlling the diagonal, castle, castle, knight b d2, bishop a7, a4. Here also same. This is the beautiful diagonal for the white square bishop, and so the main idea of the a4 is to play b5 and also the keeping on bishop a2, g5, bishop g3, king g7, rook e1. Idea to open up the center, g4. Interesting move. Okay, straight away going attacking with the pawns. Okay, and also making open up for the rooks. And if the rook knight moves, the king will join. And idea to make the checkmate, knight h4, knight h5, knight f1, queen g5. Okay, the game was equal, but the game slightly going better for the Wesley. Knight e3, bishop e3, rook e3. Okay, rook into e3, knight f4. The main idea of the knight f4 is good. Okay, the knight was sat on better square. Queen e1, bishop e6, trying to exchange the bishops. Okay, according this is the good bishop and this is also the good bishop, but this is slightly passive because of no squares for this bishop, and for this bishop the pawns are all in light squares, so no one is trying to exchange. Let's see. After bishop e6, f3, h5, bishop b5, knight e7. Idea of knight e7 is to play c6 and b5, d4, f6, rook d1, knight g6, knight g6, rook b2, rook f7, king h1, king h7. Idea to bring this rook also into the game, d5, bishop d7, bishop into d7, rook into d7. Until here also the game was in going equal positions. Knight f5, knight e7, bishop h4. See the pieces of the Magnus and Wesley So, how they are keeping. The pawns are good. Okay, all are white, and this is the dark square bishop. For Wesley, there are two knights. Okay, queen g6, knight g3, rook, queen h6, c4, rook f8, rook b3. This is somewhat not a good move. Okay, knight f g6, knight f1. Okay, knight into h4, queen into h4, f5. If the knight or g8 or c8, then the rook will join, and here the back rank weakness is there. If the rook moves, then it will go here. If the rook moves somewhere else like here or here, the queen will go. Okay, so queen e1, f into e4. Now the Magnus slightly not better, and Wesley is better. Queen into e4 check, knight g6, g3, knight df7, rook f2, queen c1, king g2, rook into f3. This is the slightly weak move by Wesley. Now he can take an advantage by taking the rook into g into. Now the here the king has to move. Okay, so Magnus made a mistake. He taken with the rook. It was done in the game. Okay, let's see the how if the game continues with the king h3, king h3, queen g5, rook into f3, rook f4, and e into f4, king g2. Then this is the equal position. But in the game, it goes like rook into f3, rook into f, rook b into f3, g into f3. Now the rook taken. Okay, rook into f3, queen b2 check. Now, now king h3. Okay, inaccuracy. King h3 was king g1 is the best. Now, if he don't take and he will go somewhere else means then the check will come directly. Okay, and he will lose the piece also because he is attacking rook. So it will be not nice. Okay, so he taken up the queen, queen into d4, queen into d4, e into d4, and rook f8, knight into f8, king g2, knight d7, knight d2, knight e5, h3. The king marches to the center. King g6, king f2, king g5, king f1, king f6. It's completely lost for the world champion, world number one Magnus. King f2, knight d3. Here also nothing is there for the Magnus. King e2, sorry, king e2, knight b2, knight b3, king e5, knight into a5. Okay, it was a inaccuracy. Okay, king e4, g4. Then the loss. Then he is need to resign the game. Okay, h into g4, h into g4, d3 check. This pawn was unstoppable. It is queening and controlling the square, and the king comes to here. Then it's lost for the Magnus. And in the game also he resigned. Okay, b6, knight b3, knight c4, king c3, d2, king into d5. It's completely lost because of the 4 versus 2 pawns. If the king marches here, the knight will jump and this pawn also will go like this and it will on g5, king e5. There is nothing much to do for the Magnus. Whatever he plays, he lost. So one more loss for the Magnus Carlsen. If you enjoy the game, like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.